today we are touring and judging blocks Chopped Housing Challenge. We have houses on both PCNA and PCEU. For the Chopped Challenge, similar to the TV show, contestants are given specific items that they have to use in a build. Now these three items behind me, the Murkmire Kiln Derelict, the Canopy Netted, and Deadland Wall Spikes, were given to both Group A and Group B. Each of three of the different judges suggested these items. Nordenheim suggested the Kiln, No Lollygaggin suggested the Deadland Wall Spikes, and I suggested the Canopy Netted. Now, over here we have some brightness, so I'm going to kind of back away a little bit. These are the truly challenging items. So Group A had these items here on the left. The giant bright cage is the Azure Plasm Cage hanging. Group A was also given the Fargrave Bookstack levitating and Globe Bush Purple, which is that right there. Group B was of course still given the first three items, but they were also given another lighting item, the Vampiric Chandelier Azure Wrought Iron, Plant Soul Splinter Weed, and Fargrave Gems Levitating. So both groups had a light, a plant, and something levitating. Okay, so our job today is to find those items, it's like an Easter egg hunt, and to see how natural those items are in the build, how creative they are. 10 out of 30 points of judging go towards the usage of these items. So it's weighed heavily in the scoring. They also get 5 points for technical skill, 5 points for aesthetics, 5 for theme, and 5 for creativity. We are in Sindradottir's Hunding's Palatial Hall. This build is heavily inspired by the Our Flag Means Death show on HBO Max, also known as the Gay Pirate Show. She did do a huge write-up on what each piece means. However, I have seen the show, so we're going to kind of wing it and see if I can figure it out. All right. I did read it a little bit, but we're not gonna read it out loud. Okay. Hi, Indril, and thanks for the lurk, Sindra. So this would be the orange tree. Looks like Sindra overlapped some trees to make it look more full. In the show, Captain Stede Bonnet is the gentleman's pirate who believes in paying his pirates a fair wage and reads them stories at night and believes they should talk out their feelings. Well, one of the things he does is he asks the cook on board to make a 40 orange cake, and they run out of oranges. And of course, they need oranges to fend off scurvy. And one of the pirates starts losing his teeth, which of course he thinks can be put back in, but they cannot. So they land to go find some oranges. We can go inside after. Alrighty, so what do we have up here? Pirates can get a nice soak in. Very pretty. And if you see any of the items, feel free to speak up. We talk it through as a crew, right? Okay. I spot one of the items, but okay, so we have a fruit vendor. In case just picking the oranges off the tree doesn't work. Although I believe in the show oranges were scarce because there'd been a blight or something. Oh, and of course we have the, of course it says cinch leopard, but I believe this is supposed to be the jaguar that Steed uses to fake his own death. And we have a fish merchant. Oh, we have a cobbled ship. That must be the Revenge, which is Steed's ship. Anything down here? Oh, they ran over a smaller ship. I actually thought this might be how you use the books. So there's our levitating books. Floating in the water. Because, you know, there's no magic in this show. So I thought maybe you'd use the books this way. Very smart. Morning, HV. You were stumped on them for a bit. No, when I read your write-up that said that they had run over another ship and everything was, I forget how you put it, swirling around in the ocean. Oh, the books. Oh, this is nice. The wench with the anchor. Now, Cinder, are those seagulls there normally? Or is that part of a furnishing I don't know about? I don't recognize those. Seagulls are big in the story as well. The guy whose teeth are falling out can talk to them. Neither are the nests. Okay. Use the wheat for nests. Oh, the Kennereth statue. Gotcha. Very cool. Okay, back to the ship. We'll go down below in a moment. I want to check out all this stuff. We have to navigate our way through, right? Of course, this is Steed's lodging. It is a little too fancy for a pirate ship, right? Where's the mime, though? Alright, so in the show, too, Steed accidentally kills someone when he hits them upside the head with a whale paperweight. So you can see there's still a little bit of blood on this one. And then that person falls through their sword, stabs themselves in the eye. You know, Sindra, in your write-up you mentioned the lighthouse painting, which I remember from the show. I didn't realize there was actually one in the game. So that's cool. In the show, Steed's wife had painted a lighthouse, and he took that with him when he left her to become a pirate. And of course, fancy clothes, because he likes the silky things. All very fancy. Okay, let's go down below. This is Jim's room. Oh, I like the hat, Sindra. So Jim is actually a female who is wanted and is pretending to be a male. And so as soon as she has a chance, she takes off her hat and her nose and beard and all that. Depression robes. That painting there is to reference the pattern on the robe in the show. Oh, okay. Oh, are they? Okay. I didn't quite catch that. Oh, I like that you didn't forget how to get up on the bunks and that you triple bunked everything. Very cool. Some tea because we're civilized, right? Okay, so there is our glow bush purple, which was one of the required items. And is this supposed to be the 40 orange cake? All right. Nice. So that did open. All right, let's check out the rest. Oh, I see something. Okay, first, we also have our canopy netted at the fish merchant. And then I see up here, I don't know if we'll get a good view without going upstairs, but we have a lighthouse, and that's where Sindra used the azure plasm cage hanging. Not the only use of the canopy, by the way. There's a much better chopped appropriate use. Okay, I will look for it. Okay, so let's go inside. Ooh, comfy. So we have some instruments to play for a jam session. Beautiful fireplace. A fake door. Close off that portion of the house. And that portion of the house. We can't actually go upstairs to look at the lighthouse. Nope, it is fine to wall off portions if they don't work for your build. Oh, the lighthouse has its own entry. That's right. I forgot about that. Okay. So we need to pay close attention for the items now. We are looking for... We found one of the canopy netted. There's another one. We need to find the Deadland wall spikes, the Murkmire kiln, and I think we found everything else. We found the book stack, we found the azure plasm cage, and we found the glow bush. Oof. Very bright. So that's how that was used. Oh, and put into... forget what that's called. The High Isle Beacon Unit. Alright, so now it's scavenger hunt time. We need to find the other items.
The Mournoth monks use an ancient Daedric artifact.
Hey Jensen, welcome to the stream.
Dare the very Ansu interfere with their holy work.
Oh, there's a secret area too, though, right? So we have to find the secret area. Can we swim out to that? I think we can. Maybe? Let's find out. Nope, can't do that. Maybe to the birds? Oh, no, 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 right over there. I see it. The full list of Our Flag Means Death references: Orange Tree, Jam Room, Recreation Area, Cheetah, Jim's Nose, Jim's Hat, Jim's Knives, Jim's Room, Lighthouse Painting, Bathrobes, Books to Read to Crew and do the voices, Crappy Little Plant in a Tankard, Orange Cake, 40 Oranges, Cat Paw Flag, Bloody Whale Paperweight, Seagulls, Wooden Model Ship in the Treasure Hoard. Okay. I think we have found all of those. Maybe I can jump up here. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm stuck. No, not that way. Aha. There we go. Okay, so here's the treasure hoard with the model ship Steed had made before the Revenge was made. Very nice. Hey, Veronica. Hey, Sally, how's it going? Oops. So there's the flag. Looking for the last of the chopped items. So it's the last day for what, Sally? Oh, is Twitch doing away with hosting? How did I miss that? Wow. Okay, then. There's the plant in the tankard. Yeah, we've seen the new shoutout command. I haven't used it yet, but we've seen it. We are still looking for the Murkmire Kiln and the Deadland Wall Spikes. There is a list of where everything is used, so... Oh, there's the Deadland Wall Spikes. I found the Deadland Wall Spikes right there. Awesome use of those, because it also gives off the light that makes it look like the oven or the stove. So now we're just looking for the Murkmire Kiln, and we were told there was a second, more chapter appropriate use of the netted canopy. We've got our bedtime storybooks. Wait a minute. That was the toilet. The kiln was the toilet. Hey, Sarsaparilla. Okay, so the kiln was the toilet. So now it's just a more chopped appropriate usage of the net. Well, and it was so clever that I saw it and didn't recognize it as the original item, which is pretty darn cool. No, you're fine, Sindra. Like I said, I didn't even recognize it as the kiln, but it's still very visible, which is definitely a very chopped thing to do, right? Okay, I just cheated and looked to see where the other net was used. Aha! It says, fish farm pens in the bay to the right of the ship. Okay. So we have traps down here with some extra fish thrown in. So they're being used to catch fish. There we go. Found it. So let's take one more look at this cobbled ship. The Revenge. So I was only assigned 3 of the 7 semifinalists to judge. Sindra was one of mine to judge, so let me jot down some scores and then we'll move on to the next house. This is very impressive. It must have been a massive undertaking to make an entire ship. Good job. Awesome. Thanks, Necro. Oh, there's a fun effect if you jump on them. Hey, chicken. How are you? I see there's fish in them. Interesting. That's fun. Is it beautiful out today? I haven't really paid attention, but it's pretty cool here still. Alright. We are in Turgenev's Forsaken Stronghold. He was part of Group B. So this time we are looking for the Murkmire Kiln Derelict, Canopy Netted, Deadland Wall Spikes, but this time we're looking for Fargrave Gems Levitating, Vampiric Chandelier, Azure Wrought Iron, and Plant Soul Splinter Weed. So Turg has included a document for this house and says that the script for this house is also in that document. However, the spreadsheet does not allow me to copy and paste the document, and it's a really, really long link. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to read that on stream. So hopefully there's some self-explanatoriness to the build. Thanks, chicken. We'll see you later. We've got a guar controlling something. Whatever it is pretty cool. Must be controlling the transporter. We have a cobble here using the Vardenfell table. Looks pretty neat. Well, there's our levitating gems. So this looks like some kind of a spaceship run by guars. Oh, look at the use of the new bridge. That's really neat. It makes it look like traveling through space. Very neat. Oh, look, I love how Turg used the back of a serving tray with one of the clockwork plaques to create like a computer screen. Very neat. We have some precursors. So guar and precursors. Looks like there's some trouble here. Something's smoking. I don't think it's supposed to do that. You'd trust guars to fly you places? Oh, this is a cool use of the Abyssal Pearl. Very neat. This is very clever. Oh, we have another down. Oh no, we have an upstairs. The purple spinny ball is from Somerset. It's an achievement item. When you do the first quest in the main quest line, you see the Abyssal Pearl. Oh, somebody's running upstairs. This is extensive. Wow. Lots of moving parts. Don't forget we're supposed to be looking for our chopped items. I believe it's one of the first achievement items you get, Veronica, so you may have access to it if you've done it at all. Can't go back that way. Okay, so Turg used the Azure Plasm Cage, even though he was in Group B, and that was a Group A item. It works there. And used the Vampiric Chandelier, Azure Wrought Iron, and there's the kiln. So we put those two together to create what looks like a small ship. Isn't that great? It looks like this is currently being worked on. Oh, and there's another one. It's already taken off. I don't want to go too far. Yeah, this is great. Can I get back in? That's the question. Yes. Oh, and a little work cart with a jewelry station. And is that an armory station and a jewelry station put together? Oh, and another one. Look, so there's 3 kilns and 3... Yeah, so that one's definitely being worked on. You can see the guar with a little hammer working on it. Yeah, like a little archaeology cart. Just a tool cart. And what's cool about this is we're always talking about item limits. There are so many detailed little things on this jewelry cart, or jewelry station, and the armory station, that by combining them, that portion only uses 2 items, but you have the illusion of having all of these tools and pieces and parts. And we have a guar on fire. So something's definitely going wrong out there. This ship is in trouble. Aw, sick bay. Okay, I'll go out there in a moment. But look! The dutiful guar is so versatile. Thank you, Kita. I will hydrate. You've decided you no longer trust guars to fly you places. You know, these clockwork beds I've never really seen as beds, but now they make sense. In this context, they make sense. Oh. Oh, the guar aren't very friendly to humans. If you had any trust left, Veronica, it is gone now. That does not look appropriate or pleasant in any way. Oh no, Veronica says. Yeah, no thank you. Okay, so first we had fire, and now we have ice and lightning. Oh. And a trap. Okay, so there's our soul splinter weed. Found another item. I like how he did this, where it looks like things are sparking. Very well done. This ship is definitely in trouble. There's water. More fire. Oh, we have a red light over the door. That's usually a warning, right? Here's this cobbled symbol again. More lightning, more smoke. Oh. Bastion running around. Something's definitely wrong. Oh, a dead guar. Oh no. Sealed doors, yep. Oh. What do we have over here? We have another precursor. Looks like another transporter of some kind. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have more tools. More guar. We are fighting aliens. Oh, there's the Deadland Wall spikes. I guess we have many more of the kilns and vampiric chandeliers. And then underneath this UFO structure is the Deadland Wall spikes. A 3D... Oh yeah, it is a 3D map of the battle. You're right. Actually, hang on. Is it a battle? Because the ships are facing the dragon, which is also on the thing. Okay. So those actually aren't enemy ships. They are helping fight the dragon. So that is what affected the ship. It's a dragon. You love that the guar are floating like the ship has just been rammed? Which ones? Oh, the gears. I thought it said guar. Sorry. No, I think Veronica's right. I think it's a 3D model of the battle because you've got the dragon, these two ships, and then those 4 UFO type ships. Yeah, I don't think I would have seen it either if Veronica hadn't pointed it out. So very cool. What do we have here? Another control room of some sort. Okay, so what are we still looking for? We found Murkmire kilns, plenty of them. We're still looking for the canopy netted. That would be difficult in this build. We found the Deadland wall spikes. We found the Fargrave gems levitating and the vampiric chandeliers and the soul splinter. So the only thing we're looking for is the netted canopy. I have a hint. I'm gonna look around first. They did give us all the details of where to find everything, so. But thank you. And I don't think we can go back up without going back to the beginning. Remember, we fell. If anybody sees the net or the the canopy as I pass by, feel free to backseat though. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Half the fun of judging these is the Easter egg hunt, right? Trying to find all the bits that have been hidden. Okay, I don't see a net here. We're there. We're there. I still love the use of the walkway. I do love the use of the elsewhere structures to give just a little bit more interest. Walkway is great. I think Sauce is really starting to get how creative people are in housing and give more and more options. You know, sometimes I feel like we're getting slighted with furnishings, and then they give us sunflowers and you have to forgive, right? I love the sound of the wind here. Can you guys hear all the effects okay? The bats and the leaves, yes. They've given us a lot more movement recently. Okay. There are some truly brilliant things in this build, I will say. Oh, he's taking an x-ray. I missed this the first time through. He's taking an x-ray. That's really clever too. And they're both moving, so it kind of works. Still haven't seen the canopy. Oh, this is where I fall through. Hang on. I don't think we're supposed to actually go back there. See if, can I take a running jump? Oh, still fell through. Okay. Not supposed to go back there. Okay, I'm gonna look now. Let's see. I used 2 as the reinforcing mesh to a wall being melted by dragon attack in the launch bay. I know Turg wasn't particularly happy that I chose the canopy. The robot back upstairs barrel? I don't think so. We can go back and look. Okay. So a wall being melted by dragon attack. Is it out there then? Or is it inside where the fire was? Morning to Tanko, inside. Okay. Let's go back. No spoilers, Salvis. Oh, I see. There it is. There we go. It does kind of look like reinforcing mesh of a wall. Alright. Gotcha. That was a good use of it. That was pretty neat. Okay. I do not have this one on my list to score, so we're just going to go ahead and move on to the next one. This is our last NA entry. This is MrsTea's The Ample Domicile. And they write, though many hath wandered by, few have ever noticed the well-warded gate at the end of the glade. Well met, traveler. You have safely passed through the wards. Before you lies the home of Druid Rivana. When Rivana became of age, she set out from her childhood home, seeking independence and adventure. After years of traveling, Rivana became weary of the greed and selfishness of the people she encountered. So she set out once again, seeking to find a place to live in seclusion. Now, many moons later, Rivana, with tea in hand, curled up with a book. She sat back and smiled, proud of the haven she had created, then promptly lost herself in the story. As the words jumped off the pages and danced in her head, Rivana soon drifted off to sleep and began to dream. Okay, so Mrs. T is in Group B, which is, of course, still the Murkmire Kiln, Canopy Netted, and Deadland Wall Spikes, but also the Fargrave Gems Levitating, Vampiric Chandelier, Azure Wrought Iron, and Plant Soul Splinter Weed. So we have our Canopy Netted. Great use of that as a chicken coop. Very clever. Oh, and as a trellis. So multiple uses. She made corn stalks. Very nice. Deadline wall spikes in the window. They look almost like crystals that way, don't they? We have a goat. I believe that's part of the Vampiric Chandelier and the Soul Splinter Weeds up there in the fire. Yeah. Very cool. So let's go back this way. Looks like there's a path for us. Skeletons had a little too much to drink, I think. Beautiful waterfall. It's a beautiful reskin of Ample Domicile. Beryl, I can hear your little heart going pitter-patter with these glowy plants. Okay. It looked like you could get back there. I wasn't sure if it was intended or not. And now I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Let's just F5. Okay. We're unstuck. All the glowies. Well, and even the reskin of the house, using the fabricant trees to give it even more glowy. Ooh, pretty. More item saving with the Poison Maker cabinet, and there's a second Poison Maker cabinet sunk in. I like that quite a bit, actually. I might have to use that in some of my kitchen builds, just the sunk-in Poison Maker's cabinet. And, of course, the herb rack, which I love. A great cobbled stove. I love the fancy back to it from one of the Elsewhere wardrobes, probably. And more wall spikes. So I like that there are two different uses of the wall spikes. And two different uses of the canopy. And some cobbled shelving behind the counter. Oh, that's great. A little stand mixer made out of one of our free ESO Plus statues. Oh, hey, MrsTea. And the Yuskimor chalice. You heard, little birdie told you. And I love that we're rolling out some dough. That looks perfect. Yeah, I love these cobbled shelves. When look at the apple crates. How she made those. Oh, and it looks like she's actually chopping carrots. By putting some pointed down and some pointed up, it looks like they have been chopped. And of course, there's carrots in this particular stew, so it's very fitting. MrsTea, we're trying to find all of the chopped pieces without cheating, and we're only referring to those if I can't find them. Because I love the scavenger hunt aspect. And these union trellises are perfect room dividers. I love them. We found the 2 uses of the canopies outside. We found the Deadland wall spikes in the window outside, as well as over the hood of the stove inside. We found the soul splinter weed and the vampiric chandelier as part of the altar outside. So I don't think we found the Fargrave gems or the Murkmire kiln. But I have passed those over before, so, you know. Ooh, the new tree. I can't quite tell what that is behind it, but it looks like moonlight coming through the window. It's beautiful. With the stained glass and the... not sure what exact piece that is, but very, very nice. A cobbled mirror. Is that the gems in the window? Here, this window? I think so. Okay, but I love this cobbled mirror. Is that the Throne of Felonisti or whatever the antiquity's called? So kilns are in 2 places and gems are in 3. Oh, chandelier's in 2. Okay. I haven't found the gems. The desk, you think? It's nice. I love the cobbled mirror. See, I thought it was this throne, but that's holding the bathtub. Oh, and there's more soul splinter weeds inside. I love your multiple uses of the chopped items. Morning Red. I love the cobbled couch out of mushrooms. This is where we're curling up with a book. Very, very nice. MrsTea, what did you use for water here? I see the, excuse me, I see the blue crystal underneath. What did you use for water there? It's very well done. So many details. Looking up in case I missed anything. Two things there, Daedric Bowl. Is that part of the chandelier? Oh, the bottom of the Fargrave crystals. I didn't even know what that looked like. Gotcha. So was Beryl right? Is that also the bottom of the Fargrave crystals in this window? To make it look like the moon? Okay. Yes, we've got the deadline wall spikes there too, as well as over the stove in the hood. That's some reflection from that planter and the Fargrave window. Okay. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Those are the kilns upside down in the chicken coop. Okay. So of course we have the chicken coop made out of net. We have the trellis here made out of net. Those are the Fargrave windows from this side. Morning, Little John. Okay, and of course, soul splinter weeds there, and the vampiric chandelier there. The netting was a Lux vendor item. It's just called Canopy Netted. Aha, we have an outhouse. There's another bottom to the Fargrave gems levitating. Hey, Avij. The tours are going well. We are on number 3 right now. I love the cobbled glowy mushroom. Oh, there's a whole little scene in here. Cute. Love it. Had to have a fairy house. Hi, Skildson. More soul splinter weeds. Okay, so you said that there was a second use of the vampiric chandelier. MrsTea, could you help me out? Yes, right now. I'm ready for a hint. I think we found everything else. Check the entrance. Oh, okay. I see it now. Perfect. And the crystals again. 3 chopped items. Okay, I see the crystals. I see the chandelier. And is that the kiln off to the sides? Hey, Holiday. How are you? The gems are the warding. Gotcha. And yes, the kiln. Nice. Yeah, part of the bricks. Very cool. All right. You are not on my list to judge. We just wanted to tour everyone. So we are now going to move over to EU for those tours. We are on EU now. This is Sorries Humblemud. The short description says, pew, pew, pew. What is the theme of your home? Aliens. And it just says, please imagine laser noises. All right. We have some fire. And someone who didn't make it through the door in time, I guess. Or is holding the door shut. I'm not sure which. Oof. Oh, I did not read the list. So the list for Sorries is, of course, the Murkmire Kiln Derelict, the Canopy Netted, and the Deadland Wall Spikes, as well as the Fargrave Bookstack Levitating, Azure Plasm Cage Hanging, and Globe Bush Purple. So we have the Fargrave books there. They used the walkway in the same way that Turg did, as a celestial event. Looking like the stars moving in the sky. They added some planets. Maybe the moon. We have an alien abduction happening, maybe. Very cool. Well, we have the house on fire. Beryl, is there a chance you could get Val the link for the High Isle event that summarizes what you need to do and what you can get? We have aliens. Look at that. Okay, Beryl, we found what to do with those grotesque yellow pictures that we got last Witches Festival. You make alien eyes out of it. Aren't they? They are adorable, but apparently they are deadly. Hey, Void Biscuit. Very adorable aliens. Until you see that they have, like, axes for arms. That makes a nice weapon. They are charring everything in their wake. I don't know if the Scuttleblooms are also part of the aliens. I'm assuming so. Thanks, Beryl. So, Val, that is your link for the High Isle event. Oh, okay, hang on. Look at that. Okay, so we have the Azure Plasm Cage hanging, ×2. We have Deadline Wall Spikes as the mouth. Hi, Marcus. How are you? We have the glow bushes as, like, a laser beam hitting this person. It's such a happy alien up there. It really reminds me of, like, a Rick and Morty episode. It looks like Morty has, like, been enlarged and gone crazy. You say happy, I say creepy, right, Mel? I'm good, Marcus. So they also use the soul splinter weed here. That's what's coming out of this alien's weapon. Very well done. So that actually used the item from the other group. Mecha Morty, there you go, Mecha Morty. Doesn't it? Am I wrong? You love the glowies as the alien weapons? Yeah, that's great. Okay, so we need to find the kiln. I believe that's yep, the kiln is part of the weapon. Look at the fingers curled around the laser gun. And there's more Deadland wall spikes in there too. Look at that. And is that... I think that's a... Oh no, are those a Deadland wall spikes? I think those are actually a Deadland's cage. Or a brazier or something, I think. I think that's all one unit that they use to make the front of the laser gun. Yeah, different item, I think. I think so too. Now that I look at it more closely. Okay, so there's the canopy netted. It's part of the porch of this house. There's even a person up there. No one's left alive. Did you notice that? Oh, there's another canopy over here. As part of this rubble, maybe another porch. Okay, so we found Murkmire Kiln. We found Canopy Netted. We found Deadland Wall Spikes. We found the Fargrave Book Stack. The Azure Plasm Cages as eyes. And glow bushes. So we have found all the items. Very well done. Very cute. I love the aliens. I love the aliens. I'm going to show you. This alien is actually an upside down flower. Oh, I can't interact with it. Smart. But it's a flower. It opens up and it's turned upside down in the closed format. I love that the theme was just aliens and it didn't disappoint, right? All right, guys, give me a moment to score this one and then we will move on to the next contestant. We are now in Grom Sturmbringer's Mournoth Keep. It says a small orcish summer house of Grom lies on a little lake. Let's see. Grom Stormbringer, the warden, loves to live close to nature and his orcish roots. Come in and treat yourself to a meal by the lake or enjoy a warm seat in the house. Now, Grom was part of Group A. So we're looking for the Murkmire Kiln Derelict, the Canopy Netted, Deadland Wall Spikes, just like everybody else. But then Group A had the Fargrave Bookstack Levitating, Azure Plasm Cage Hanging, and Glowbush Purple. And I right away see a Glowbush up here. So there's at least one in the build. Oh, there's plenty. Look, they're all over. Right there, back there. In general, this doesn't look like Mournoth Keep at all to me, but you can see the stairs. We have a couple waterfalls. I love this use of the stairs. Some orcish totems in keeping with the theme. The theme being orcish and nature. I see the netted canopy. That's a statue of Vivek, right? Not quite on theme, but it looks nice. Oh, we created a lake. So we have lily pads at the top. We have a boat. We have some coral and some crabs and some fish. Oh, Boethra. Okay. So here's our canopy. Which technically may be Vivek. Very clear water in that lake. Would love to go swimming there, right? And you can see the light from the Azure Plasm Cage. There was a question before we got started judging on the Azure Plasm Cage. So the Azure Plasm Cage you can't turn on and off. And then Group B had the Vampiric Chandelier, which you can turn off, but they were told they were not allowed to turn off. But then the question was, can you just use the light from the Azure Plasm Cage, which is pretty powerful? Or can you hide it, or do you have to be able to see it? And so there's the chain from it. You can tell it's hidden under the rock. I don't think Locke intended for it to be fully hidden, other than the chain. But they did come through and said that everyone used the lights cage chandelier appropriately. This boat is actually a lead from Blackwood, turning in either the Delve or World Boss dailies. So it's an antiquity. And it only bothers me because it's nicer than the Master Angler boat, which is so much harder to get. But yeah, so they did use the anchor. The anchor chain is from the cage, and of course you can see from the glow down there that that's where it was hidden. But the glow from the cage is supposed to be the water in the lake, so. MrsTea says, I think as long as you can see a art, it should be okay. A part, you mean? Yeah. So I was on another stream the day that I was supposed to be judging these originally, and was told that Locke had changed the rules, saying that you could use the light only. So I wanted to clarify the rules before I judged, and that's why I postponed. This does show a part. Although without clarification from Locke, I don't know. I may have felt this wasn't quite enough. But Locke says it is, so it is. Locke makes the rules. But you can definitely see the glow of the water, which is the Azure Plasm Cage effect, and you can see the chain portion. The kiln upside down is the table. Very nice. Okay, so what are we still looking for? We found the kiln, we found the canopy. We're still looking for Deadland wall spikes, the Fargrave book stack, and we found the Azure Plasm Cage and the glow bushes. So let's look inside. Ooh, I like the way they did this bedroom. use the orcish gazebo. Very nice. We have our bath area over here. We have a work area. This item was actually part of the last chop challenge. The sword sconce. Oh, I like how they used the orcish anvil as their coffee table. Oh, we put a ship on the shelves. Very cool. And a mushroom in a bowl, a pot. Cute. Yeah, it's a nice cobbled couch too. Very well done. The throne here. A nice spread. Oh, hey, why is there a skeleton up there? Well, I'm a little disturbed now that there's a skeleton up there. Just taking a nap. Just hanging out. It's warm here. You don't really have a whole lot of flesh keeping him warm, right? Tonight's dinner special. Oh no. You're more concerned about why the food is glowing? It's really hot. And we have our stovetop over here, our fire. Okay, let's look outside. Oh, hello. So here's our Fargrave book stack. Couple of them. Something magical's going on here. I'm not quite sure what. So I think all we're missing now are the deadline wall spikes. So if anybody saw them, please tell me. Oh wait, we have a hidden area. Never mind. I see a hidden area. Oh, we can go into the lake. I feel like the Little Mermaid. Oh, I've got the hermit crab over here. Hey, Trass. You like the deep root flower effect mixed with the moon pad? Maybe I can get back out. Okay. Oh, that's right. That is the deep root flower. I couldn't place it at first. There's a lot of visual effects that are part of like Crown Store items or Crown Crate items that I'm not just super familiar with, but you're right, that is from the flower. The same flower that made the aliens from the last house. Okay, did anybody see Deadline Wall Spikes? Okay, I'm gonna cheat and look at the list. Towel hanger in the bathroom and the light from it. Oh, I wouldn't even have recognized. That piece was from the... No, it's on. Which is... It's fine if it's off, but it's just this little piece. I didn't even recognize it from this little piece. I didn't realize that was there. Nice. Okay. Definitely had to cheat for that one. I would not have recognized that. Okay. This one is on my list too, so I'm going to score this one and then we'll move on to the next. This is futerko's Exorcised Coven Cottage. Baba Yaga House. For better immersion, use first-person camera. Spooky and spoopy. Since Baba Yaga discovered that there were no children in Tamriel, she rented her house to another witch who opened her secret business in the basement. Okay, so we're supposed to go in first person. It is a house with feet. Oh, that's hilarious. It looks like Big Bird feet, doesn't it? On a perch. Oh, we've got some debris here. Quite a bit of debris. Okay, so right away we see the canopy netted as part of the roof of the house. That looks... Oh, from this angle it looked like a hole, but I don't think it's supposed to be. That's creepy. I see something in there. Oh, so futerko is part of Group B. They're supposed to use Murkmire Kiln Derelict, Canopy Netted, Deadland Wall Spikes, Fargrave Books... No, excuse me. Fargrave Gems, Levitating, Vampiric Chandelier, Azure Wrought Iron, and Plant Soul Splinter Weed. Now, it looks like there's some crystals in there. I can't quite tell. Maybe that's part of another part of the house. I'm stuck. Okay. Oh. Hello, Mr. Crow. Why can't I get in? There we go. So we're just going to go left to right since we're in first person. Lots of potions and herbs. We'll go downstairs in a moment. Hey, kitty. Using some of those mirrors to create the exterior. Very nice. And a nice loft couch or bed. Maybe that's supposed to be a bed. A loft bed. Giant key. follow the glowy orb. We will. We will. It is pretty spooky in here. Lots of tiny little detail in here. A little spoopy, but I would live there. So lots of little details. I believe this is actually part of the top of the new druidic provisioning station. I like the mushrooms. So there's our crystals. I like the combination of the bone chimes and one of the reach chandeliers. Bombi, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. And then the window cobbled with the not sure which item it is, probably one of the Telvanni items. Very nice, very well done. I will hydrate Bombi, thank you. This makes your little witch heart happy, Beryl. There's our kiln, turned upside down to make a table again, and it's combined with the Moth Priest cleansing bowl. The placement just right so that the cloth drapes over the side. Okay, now time to follow the glowy orb. So bright. Sorry, guys. Oh. Oh. It looks like it's moving the way it's in that light. So I think that's the... Is that the vampiric chandelier portion? Oops. I just roll dodged. It is, okay. This channel is troubled. Just bought a few netted canopy for your Sea Veil Spire. They're great. They are absolutely great in there. Okay, so we've got some soul splinter weed here. We've got some different types of cloth. I love this. Okay, so it's a factotum torso and an elsewhere fan with the fan of the false face or whatever it's called behind it. It's a really cool effect. Very much like the like an Elizabethan collar type standing up behind. We have some floating thread around this one. Very cool. Is this also... No, that's a different cobble. We have a mouse hole. That's also a kiln. It's also part of the kiln. Cute. Yeah, I wasn't sure if this is part of the vampiric chandelier too. I'll check their notes. That is. Pretty sure. I'm sure that is the vampiric chandelier as a fireplace grate. And, ooh, look at those Deadland Wall spikes. The light that gives is really nice too. That is really neat. Oh, that's great. Oh, Trass. Okay, are we... So bright. Are we missing anything? Let's go over the list. Murkmire Kiln, we found 2 of them, right? The mouse hole and the upside down table here. And then Canopy Netted was outside as part of the roof. We found the Deadline wall spikes over the fireplace downstairs. We found Fargrave gems right ahead of us here. Vampiric chandelier, we found a couple of them downstairs. And plant soul splinter weed, we also found somewhere, but I know we found it. Where was? I'm trying to remember where the soul splinter weed was. Oh yeah, in the dress. In the dress. That window has this Deadline soul spike or Deadline wall spikes too. This one here? Oh yeah, it could be. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think it's the light from the Deadline wall spikes and another one of those antiquity mirrors, maybe, out there. Good eye. Good eye. You've probably played with it a lot more than I have now. Alright, so we found everything. Let's move on to our final house. Actually, let me read what they said. Let's see. Used 3 times as a table in the main room, as additional table where magical ingredients were put. Hold on. Okay, reading over futerko's notes. Murkmire Kiln derelict used 3 times as a table in the main room, as an additional table where magical ingredients were placed. Oh, this one here. That was also a kiln. And as a mouse hole in the basement. Canopy Netted is used as a roof support as on the facade of the house, right at the entrance as you look at the house. Deadline wall spikes used 2 times, one as window on house facade and second in basement room decoration over the fireplace. Fargrave gems levitating as magical ingredients in main room above the table. Vampiric chandelier used 3 times, one as part of the chimney in the basement room, one as the clothing podium. Oh, as a clothing podium. Okay, so not the side tables. And soul splinter weed, part of the dress, which is located in the basement. Okay, so we did find everything. Yeah, the kiln is under the druidic provisioning station, or cobbled with it. Looks like maybe they used 2 of them here, actually, to create kind of that step look. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the next house. Alright, this is our final home of the Chopped semifinals. This is Salvis Aaron's Hall of the Lunar Champion. They have the ESO account name of dragonborn.emperor. My house is a weird mix of Buddhist temple, Chinese martial arts school, and Khajiit adeptorium. The Temple of the Silent Winds trains Tamriel's finest martial artists, whose mission is to defend the mortal plane. The most talented among them are even tutored in the art of Thu'um by a dragon. Today, I discovered this fallen reliquary. It seems to be a portal chamber. Unfortunately, the secrets of all portals have been lost, except for one. What might be behind it? The sensei officially introduced us to the dragon. He called him Sakudstrun. I think he's lying. An older student told me he introduced the dragon as Parkudstrun in the past. Could it be the legendary Parthamax? We're constantly told how important it is for this place to be a temple of inclusivity. However, then we're also supposed to be the last bastion of the mortal world against the supernatural. I understand that we're accepting vampires who still see themselves as mortals, but Daedric, dead, and energetic students? Torn diary pages. All right, so we have a definite ruins here. Let's go through the portal. Ooh. We have a cobble. Okay, I'm going to go left to right. Here are a couple of the vampiric chandeliers. Oh, this person has the same list as the last, by the way. So, Murkmire Kiln Derelict, Canopy Netted, Deadland Wallspike, Fargrave Gems Levitating, Vampiric Chandelier Azure Wrought Iron, and Plant Soul Splinter Weed. So here's our Vampiric Chandelier. I think there's two of them because they're at different levels. Again, we have the Druidic Provisioning Station sunk in to give us just more items without the item count. I love it. Oh, is it just one? They have them at different levels like that? Okay. That is very bright. That is a neat effect with Ember. I'm not even sure how they did that, but I don't know that I want to know. It might ruin the wonder for me. I don't know. I think it's just a tight path up in the air, maybe? I'm not familiar with this effect either. It looks like dandelion seeds floating around. But she looks like she's having fun. Ooh. That's great. Have an obstacle course out here. I'm not nearly as agile as whoever we have running here. Are these the bottoms of the canopy? I think they are. I think they are. What do we have? We have an Ogrim down there. Oh, is that from the Kennereth statue? Okay, so we have this cobbled house with a dragon on top. We have these trading areas. Of course, the diary pages questioned the presence of certain types of creatures here. Let's actually go over here first before we explore the house. We have the Soul Splinter Weed here. And we have the Fargrave Levitating Gems. And the book stack. Miri's got this fighting area. Love it. fountain with lighted flowers. Was that Isabel running around? She's going so fast I can't even tell. You're right, it is Isabel. Look how many of these, was it the Sweet Song tapestry we have? That's a lot. That is a lot. Oh, we have a bunch of weapons. Was Salvis also the one that did the bucket o' swords in their first house? I know we judged one that had a bucket o' swords, but I couldn't remember who it was. Torches and daggers and swords, oh my. But none are as special as this sword. Hey, Salvis! Oh, and we have the Moon's Bless ceremonial, not Moon's Bless, the Mothman priest thingy. I'm struggling with words already. Sunk down in. You had a barrel of swords in your first house, but not in Chopped One. But you were the one who had it from the first iteration of this Chopped, right? Because that was one of the Chopped items. Oh, there you had the sword on the counter. Okay. Mothman Priest is like a Fallout 76 and ESO mashup. Yep, see? I'm getting all confused. Mothman Priest. Moth Priest. Cleansing Bowl. Ooh. Deadland Wallspike as a ginormous weapon. I remember your sword on the counter now. We have some spears. Some shields. Very nice. And there's our kiln. Over by the anvil. Which you technically have now again. Alright. It works. Cryptid with an Elder Scroll. What existential crimes will he commit? Aha, we can't go any further. That is... Like, what is going on with my controls? Nope, that's just the wall. So this is all built out past where we can walk. Very nice. Okay, so scavenger hunt time. Let's check off the list. We found the Murkmire Kiln there. Canopy netted. Those were the legs for Isabel's obstacle course, right? Turned upside down. Then we had Deadland Wall Spikes. We found that as the giant sword. Or, I think that's too big to even call a sword. That's a Deadland Wall Spike. Then we had the Fargrave Gems levitating back here. And Vampiric Chandelier, which is over here. And Soul Splinter Weed, which is over here. I think that does it. So that concludes all 7 entries into the Chopped semifinals. There will be one more iteration of Chopped this season. So I look forward to taking a peek at those.